Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Jay, and in this week's video we're gonna do a full house reset. I filmed all of this throughout the course of a Sunday because I wanted to start my week off on the right foot, and I still had a lot of unpacking and cleaning to do after coming back from my birthday vacation to Los Angeles. So I'll be popping in here and there just to chat with you guys, tell you all about my trip and show you some of the things I purchased and just updates. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, that you'll subscribe, and let's get started. So as I mentioned, I went to Los Angeles, California for my birthday. In the past, I've loved LA. I've gone every year, usually in January because I used to go to this trade show, but I decided to go again. I hadn't been since before the pandemic and I really missed it. So I thought, we'll get into that a little later, but I flew overnight and I got back in on Thursday morning, and this was Sunday. So this suitcase and my carry-on book bag had been sitting on the floor for 3 or 4 days, but it's okay, we're taking care of it now. And this backpack I purchased from Target. A really nice backpack. They still have it, but not in this color. It's like a silky material, and then that's just a CalPack suitcase. And the packing cubes are really nice too. They're a silky material. I purchased them from Amazon years and years ago. And it's funny because when I bought those packing cubes, I think I was supposed to get 5, but I only got 4. But they were so nice and they've held up so well that I just didn't exchange them or return them. I just kept them, which not something I'd recommend doing, but I do really enjoy using packing cubes now when I travel. It just makes a disorganized person like me's life a lot easier. One of the few things I got was this Batman cup. So this is like the old school Batman, the comic book. And me and my mom, we used to watch Batman together, the Adam West Batman. Let me know down below if you've watched that Batman. It's when they, wasn't it before green screen? Like super old. And Adam West, actually, he's Mayor West on Family Guy. So on more recent time, you may have heard his voice, but that's kind of where he got his fame, was the old Batman. I think it was the 50s or 60s. And me and my mom used to always watch that. So I love references to the original Batman. And then here, I'm just taking all the tags off of these clothes that I got. I went on H&M's website, I think like the second night that I was in California, and I just placed an order because I saw this dress. And I'd been looking for a button-up dress for the summertime, and this is linen. It has little ties in the back, but I saw that and then it went on sale. So I just purchased a bunch of other things, and I wanted to pop those tags off and wash that because I always wash new clothes, but that will complete the pile of laundry in the living room. And this disinfectant spray, it's like the knockoff Walmart brand disinfectant, you know. I sprayed my suitcase and my carry-on bag when I brought it into the house, which I normally don't do, and I don't know why, but for some reason I was just compelled this time to spray my suitcase and then let it air dry so that it at least got disinfected on the outside. It's finally starting to warm up here in Maryland. We had a hot week just previously, 70s and high or low 80s, which was not good. That was too hot. But now it seems we've cooled back down to kind of the 50s in the morning and then the 60s in the evening. So I was just going through my little shoe basket. I try and do that weekly and put the shoes I'm not wearing in the closet and stuff. I have shoes all over the house. I don't know why. I have multiple storage areas for shoes. And then I'm just taking all the junk from my suitcase upstairs, but I get to put my coats away finally. And I wanted to show you guys this coat rack. I have been looking for one of these and I found this on Amazon. Good quality. It has 5 hooks, I believe, and it's recessed. So when I'm not using it, it just looks like a piece of decor, which I really like. And then we're going to move on to the floors in here. So, and I'll chat more about my trip. So I stayed at the Citizen M Hotel, downtown LA. Not a good area, like I mentioned. And the hotel, it's super trendy. If you look it up, I think it's Deutsch or Norwegian. It's definitely an overseas hotel brand that they're bringing into the US. So very trendy, young, like hip. The lobbies are beautifully decorated and it is kind of the size of a microtel. If you've seen those, I know they're popular over in Asian countries, but it's a tiny, tiny hotel room. I mean, absolutely tiny, which works for me as one person. I would not stay there if I had a partner. It's just too small, unless I was doing some kind of work where all we needed to do was use the bed temporarily. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. But other than that, I would not comfortably stay in that hotel. It was just too small. But I'd stayed there in Miami, loved it, decided to stay again downtown LA, and it was a bad experience. I wasn't happy with the housekeeping services, the service I received from the people, the lack of amenities, and because it was in such an area with a lot of undesirable people outside, a lot of transient people. I mean, literally every single block was homeless people. And you guys, I've like lived in the hood. I'm telling you, it was a lot. It was a lot. There was feces on every single block. I mean, downtown LA definitely has earned the reputation it has. And we were close to Skid Row because when I was driving, me and my Uber driver were kind of talking about it, and he's like, yeah, some tourists, they'll come here and they ask me to take them to Skid Row, and I always decline, or people would try and get Ubers from Skid Row, and he's like, I know what they're doing and I'm not going to be a part of that. So it was fine. I obviously made it home just fine, and I did not have a rental car. Another thing I regret, staying in downtown LA. But that hotel I stayed at didn't have its own parking. So I walked a lot of places. I was 1 block over from Grand Central Market. Phenomenal. The food in LA is incredible. Incredible. We don't even have that diversity of foods here. I mean, donuts, tacos, ramen, pizza, fresh fruit drinks, all in one spot. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. So, so delicious. So that was great. I only got yelled at by a homeless woman one time. You know, I stole her effing man, all that stuff. But yeah, so would not recommend staying in downtown LA. Just stay near the attraction you want to go to. Like my main attraction was Universal. I would have stayed closer to Hollywood, even though there were less hotels available there because I looked. I would have stayed closer there. If you're going to go to Disney, Anaheim is like come so far from everything. So if Disney is your only goal, then Anaheim's fine. But if you want to do Disney and Universal, know that they are far away. But my hotel was kind of about a $10 Uber ride from Union Station. They have their own Union Station, and from there you can catch a bus or train anywhere. So I could have made it to Disney on the train, but I'd had enough. Universal was enough of an adventure for me, and I was very happy that I went. I had a great time, but yeah, would not recommend the hotel. And now we're done with the front room. We're moving on to the living room, which, as you can see, when I left on my trip, I left it in a pretty good state. So I just needed to vacuum and wipe down my little TV tray, and that was it. what did I do when I was in Los Angeles? So my goal there was to go to Universal Studios and to take a studio tour. And I was looking up all the reviews, and a bunch of people recommended the Warner Brothers, the WB Studios tour. So that's the one I picked. And then I went to the beach, I went shopping, did all the things, took public transportation, which I don't even do here anymore. So really great time. The WB tour was amazing. I wanted to do some touristy stuff because the whole point was to get away from my house, right? To get away from my city, to get away from the stresses of being home, because even when I'm relaxing, there's always stress. I'm always thinking about what's the next thing to do in my house. So I wanted to go there and do some touristy stuff. The WB studio tour was so fun. I actually went on Easter. I thought it would be like low key, no people. There were quite a few people there, and they still film on that lot. Studio lots are kind of going out of fashion. They just build sound stages now, but they still film there, and they film Abbott Elementary there. They film Bob Hart's Abishola, which I'll talk about. I got to go into a sound stage for that. And if you didn't know, I used to live in Philly, and so for Abbott Elementary, they had one of the corner buildings. It was made up to look like a street in Philly, so that was really cool, a little nostalgic. They had some like Philadelphia public school district buses, so it was just a really great experience, and I would love to go back for a private tour. Once I'm done vacuuming, I put this sugared lemonade candle under the candle lamp because it was sitting and making me really annoyed. I'm a big fan of candle lamps, candle crocks, all of the ways that you utilize home fragrance, I'm a fan of. And now we're moving into the bathroom. And don't be shocked, the tub looks that bad because it has not been draining properly. And here are the tools I used. I have my Scotch-Brite toilet scrubber, Windex, a microfiber cloth, a Scotch-Brite tile scrubber, one of my favorite tile scrubbers, and my Lysol foaming shower cleaner. But my tub has not been draining, so every time I take a shower, all of the dirt sits right around the drain waiting to go down. And it's like it needs to be scrubbed like every 2 days because the dirt accumulates there because it's waiting to go down. So that's why the tub looks bad. I'm not a total heathen. I'm having problems with the draining. So back to my studio tour. That was amazing. I would go back and pay for a private tour, and it kind of made me want to be an actress or like work on movies or TV shows, so I can understand how people, they go to these places and they get swept up. I mean, it's a different world. It was so cool. So we walked around the outdoor sets, and they had the Friends couch, and was it the original fountain or a different fountain? I can't remember, but they had their Friends couch there, and that was a big thing. You know, I like Friends. I used to. I don't watch it, but it's fine. It's not a huge deal to me, but it's a big deal to a lot of the people on the tour because it was a stop. So I took a picture in front of it. And then a lot of Gilmore Girls was filmed there. And now a lot of movies and TV shows, they film on location because it's just easier instead of using these studio sets. So they talked about how studios are tearing them down, but I loved it. And we got to go inside one of the sound stages, which was the best part. It was for the sitcom Bob Hart's Abishola, one of the sweetest sitcoms on TV. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore, but I have seen it and it's very good. I just love the plot. It stars Billy Gardell, who's well known for Mike and Molly. He was Mike. And then a Nigerian actress, Folake Olofueku. I had to look up the pronunciation of her name, but she is a nurse and he is some sort of businessman, and they meet in the emergency room or in the hospital and they fall in love, and it's just such a modern, realistic telling of a love story that should be seen as like a traditional love story, but something, you know, it's still kind of taboo, I think, especially with Black women dating white men. It's just not something you see all the time, right? And not black women, not like unambiguously black, or in this case African women. You just don't see that a lot. You see a lot of biracial or fair skinned women. So I really like the show. I love the concept. I love Billy. He was so sweet in Mike and Molly, which I thought would be really corny, but he made the show. He's great. So really cute show. We got to see the soundstage. I've never seen how they filmed a sitcom, and it was just so great. Like I said, I want to go back. I want to do another tour. I want to tour all the studios that still exist. It was a money well spent, definitely. So I did that, and then I did Universal Studios, which is always a good time. The weather was perfect. It was in the 60s and 70s, but it was overcast. Perfect weather. It wasn't too hot. It was good. Of course, the Harry Potter world is always such a cool thing to see. They build the castles, and they had like a train conductor, and it's always really cool. Every time I see it, I'm kind of in awe again. I went to see the Mario Land. I got to ride that ride, and as a single person, I got to do a lot of the solo rides. So I didn't wait too long, but I can only do Universal for about 6 hours, and then I was done. There were a lot of very diehard fans there. They were dressed up. They were very not chill like I was. They had things they needed to accomplish, and there were a lot of baby strollers. So I didn't spend the entire day at Universal, but by the time I got back to my hotel room after taking the train, it was the whole day. So that's really what I did. And then I just ate. I went to the Santa Monica Pier, which was nice. It's always good to see a beach. I don't live near a beach. So that was nice. I did some shopping, more tacos, Salvadorian food. I had some of that. Some barbecue that was really good. So yeah, just eating, shopping, exploring. It was great. Staying where I did, I think, kind of burned me out on LA a little bit. It lost some of its sparkle. And like I mentioned, Los Angeles County is humongous. So you're going to have a different experience if you stay in Beverly Hills, right? It's just going to be different. But I feel like I saw kind of the real LA, and it lost its luster a bit. So I was very happy to be home, and I don't know that I'll be going back anytime soon, unless something there specific happens or there's an event I want to go to, but I'm done with LA for now. After I'm done rinsing out that shower, with the new shower head that I put in, I wanted something with stronger pressure, so I found one on Amazon, and it's been working out well. I wanted to go ahead and get these floors taken care of. I'm just using my old Dyson, and then I'm going to use my trusty Bissell steam mop. Oh no, Black & Decker. It is a Black & Decker steam mop with washable microfiber pads. It is still going strong, and I like to steam mop the bathroom floor because it's just a sanitary way to clean the floors. Not that I'm above chemicals, but I just like using the steam mop in here. I feel like it gets the tiles really, really sparkly clean. Now that the bathroom is all clean, I wanted to move on to putting away my Easter decorations. I had already taken them down and piled them all on my little kitchen coffee bar, and I'm just taking out the recycling first, and then I have my empty bin, and I'm just going to put the decorations away for next year. This part of the video is later in the afternoon after I'd had some lunch, watched some TV, took a little nap because I wasn't feeling my best this day, but I really wanted to just push myself and get all my cleaning done. So I'm taking the clean laundry upstairs, and I got some new air filters for the house. So this is your reminder. Check the last time you changed your HVAC filter. I had not changed mine in months, you guys, months, which is embarrassing. I'm not going to say how many months, but it was a lot of months, way too many months. So I got some in the mail, changed that, and then I'm moving upstairs into the bedroom. And I'm not sure what's going on with this clip. I'm sure it's my camera because there is stuff flying all around. The room is not that dusty, I swear. If you watch my videos, I've been really keeping up on the dust. And I mean, you can see it. There's not a coating of white over everything. So I don't know what all that stuff is. Maybe it's orbs. Maybe it's spirit orbs. Maybe that's why I've been sleeping so bad. I don't know. But I'm sorry about that. And then here, all the stuff I brought upstairs to get put away from the suitcase, I'm just doing that before I move on to the nightstands and dusting and then the floors. I have 2 sets of white sheets for my bed, a queen size bed, and I keep 1 sheet set under the bed in those storage bins that I got from Walmart. They're pretty cheapy. I think the zippers broke on one of them, but they serve their purpose extremely well. And I noticed that I've been using the same fitted sheet for the last couple weeks. I just wash it, put it back on. So I wanted to rotate out, and then as I was making this bed, I remembered why. It's because when I bought these sheets on Amazon the first time, the fitted sheet shrunk. So I bought a replacement because I really liked it, but I bought it as a king size expecting it to shrink, and it didn't shrink. So one of my fitted sheets is giant and there's all this extra fabric. It always looks sloppy, and that's what I'm gonna put on my bed right now. Using my Method Daily Wood Cleaner to clean off these nightstands, and then I also did wipe off my dresser and dust behind the TV, but I don't think I showed that part. I cut it out because we get the point, okay? I've been looking for lamps for these nightstands just to add a little something to the room without doing a full-on makeover, so I'm on the hunt for some matching lamps to put here. For the floors, instead of vacuuming, I wanted to dust them. So this O-Cedar flip mop, the blue side it has like a thicker dust pad, and it kind of looks like almost like fingers, like the mop shoes that I wear, but a pad of it. So I just use that pad to wipe the floor and wipe up all the dust, and then I'm gonna flip the mop over and use the rougher microfiber side to actually mop. And in that mop bottle, it used to be the Method Squirt Mop, but I used that up a long time ago and I really like the bottle. It's either watered down Fabuloso or Zepp hardwood floor cleaner. I believe it's Zepp hardwood floor cleaner, and you can get a huge bucket of that for a really reasonable price at Home Depot or online. So I use that on these vinyl floors. If you're going to use something like a Fabuloso on these floors, make sure you water it down, because you're not adding a lot of water and you're not rinsing the floors, or at least I would never rinse the floors I mop. That's just too much. So you don't want the cleaner to leave a film behind. And the Zepp hardwood floor cleaner that I got at Home Depot, on the back it specifies that it can be used with laminate and vinyl flooring. So that's really good too. And that you don't have to water down. You just use the cleaner straight out the bottle. And while you're scrubbing, it kind of looks like it's white, but that's just you moving the product on the floor. It does not leave my floors sticky or streaky at all. Now this is in the evening when I really didn't want to do it, but this kitchen, this stove in particular, it just looked so bad. I could not leave it like this for another night. If you're still with me, I greatly appreciate it. We only have a few minutes left, just a few minutes for you to prop me up and get something done, and I promise you will feel better afterward. At this point, it was getting closer to my bedtime and I was having a little bit of a hissy fit because my sleeves wouldn't stay up, and I was just really, my inner child came out and I was ready to be done. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to use my Tenco iFloor 3 vacuum mop on the floors. I don't even know if they make this model anymore. If they do, it's heavily discounted because they have quite a few more after it, but mine works perfectly fine and I love this thing. It's not as deep of a clean as the O-Cedar spin mop, but it definitely still does a really good job at cleaning the floors. The corner where I keep my trash can needed a little bit of extra love, so I just grabbed a disinfectant wipe to take care of that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you'll come back soon.